Ottawa finally broke through, but the same flaws that almost sunk them last year are staring them right in the face.
Earn the right to play in the Stanley Cup playoffs, a necessary step, I think, in our growth. When I talk about improvement, I think it's both on and off the ice.
It wasn't perfect, but 97 points, fourth in the Atlantic, first wild card, and a playoff berth for the first time in 8 years, that's a win. Even down 3-0 to Toronto, they clawed back to push the series to 6. But if they want to take the next step, the issue is clear. It's goal scoring. 19th in goals last season, no top 20 scorers in the league. One of their superstars, Tim Stützle, dropped from 90 points just a couple of seasons ago to 79. Their captain, Brady Tkachuk, has seen 3 straight years of per-game production decline, from 83 points in 22-23 to just 55 last year. But the most glaring stat that just jumps off the page, and Sens fans know exactly where I'm going with this, is 5-on-5 scoring. Only Nashville scored less goals in that category than the Sens.
5-on-5, yeah, I think that I think that there's things, and Travis can touch on it as well. I think that there's going to be some growth in that area. I think, with the group we have returning, there's some areas that I'm going to look at, but as we've talked about before, I mean, the market will sort of dictate on if you can add those types of players or improve in that area.
All right, to the offseason, and GM Steve Staios did not go big game hunting. Instead, what did he do? Lars Eller, 36 years old, cup ring, bottom 6 anchor. Add David Perron, Nick Cousins, Michael Amadio, all guys with championship experience, and it's more about depth than fireworks.
Everybody's looking for a top 6 scorer, and we'll continue to look to see what we have. But I think internally, and the work that Travis has done, and the group continues to improve, and the individuals are continuing to improve as well.
On the back end, a lot of positives, and it's gotten better. Jordan Spence comes over from LA, and he joins Chabot, Sanderson, and Zub for a legitimate top 4. Tyler Cleven's locked in, and prospects like Carter Yakemchuk and Logan Hensler are on the way. Goaltending. This is the real X factor. Linus Ullmark can be one of the best goaltenders in the league when he's on. The problem is, every time he missed a stretch of games last year, he came back and it took him a while to find that form. At his peak, he's elite, and we know that. The guy's got a Vezina, and that's why the Sens traded for him from the Bruins. But the problem is, he goes through these long stretches of the season where last year he looked like the majority of every other goalie that's played for the Sens over the last decade.
Goaltenders, they're not perfect. You go through stretches, but Linus Ullmark at his best is a top goaltender in the league.
And then there's the playoffs. His struggles carried over from Boston to Ottawa. Games 1, 2, 3 against Toronto saw him post save percentages of .750, .857, and .850. The numbers look ugly, and while anyone who watched that series will say, well, he didn't look as bad as those numbers suggest, and I agree with that. The fact of the matter is this: the Ottawa Senators are a team that need elite goaltending in the playoffs to get to where they want to get to. Like most teams in the NHL, they're not special in that category. But the problem is, he did not give them that early on in that series against Toronto. And to be fair to him, he found his groove near the end of it. He even posted a shutout in Game 5. But that just makes you wonder, after the fact, what if he gave them that goaltending early on? What does that series look like?
And even the playoffs, so you could look at this playoff series and you can talk about the goals, but how they went in. I felt like we were a little unfortunate, but he gives us the presence in that we want, and I think it gives our team confidence, and we expect him to continue to grow as a goaltender as well. I think that he's driven to improve as well.
Let's wrap this up with 2 big questions, and they're pretty obvious ones, but I think they're important. Number 1, can the Sens find the goal scoring that they need to compete with the best teams in the East? And if they do that, can Linus Ullmark become the world beater that they need to take that next step? And not just sometimes, but all the time. Those are two questions I'm going to be watching to see if the Sens can answer next season. But you hit me down in the comments below. Is this the year where the Sens actually take a next step and move forward in the playoffs and maybe even finish higher within their division? Let me know in the comments below.